The Last Face is a movie title that makes no sense for a movie directed by Sean Penn and written by Aaron Dignam, and it stars Charlize Theron and Javier Bardem, and this is about a director of an international aid agency who meets an aid doctor in Africa, and this spends some years, and it tells the story of their relationship and some tough choices that they have to make, and it analyzes the humanitarianism and what was going on during this social/political revolution. This movie is a special kind of bad. The Last Face is a film that actually makes no fucking sense. The directorial efforts of Sean Penn in this film are beyond comprehension bad. Here are the techniques of filmmaking applied by Sean Penn as far as the director is concerned. Awkward zooms on people whenever you don't need them. Handheld cam whenever you don't need them, when people are sitting down and having a conversation, having a civilized meeting. And then there's also, at all times, at all fucking times, not one fucking shot in this film is different. Every fucking time there's unfocusing on the lens. Sean Penn cannot fucking focus what is in the frame of a single shot in this film. There are two characters talking with each other. He always has to zoom in on one to focus that character, and the other one completely zooms out. There's one shot where everything is out of focus, and Javier Bardem, just half of him is on the frame. Look at my hand is Javier Bardem. Here is Javier Bardem on his shot, and it's out of focus. Absolutely fucking out of focus. It makes no sense. This movie starts off with showing you Javier Bardem, and he's in Africa. He's helping out people who need to be helped out. He's a doctor. You see him doing surgery and whatnot. You see him trying to save people's lives. And throughout the first half an hour, 40 minutes of this film, it's Javier Bardem failing at these surgeries and then just sitting down on the ground like this. How fucking awkward is that? That is the first half/40 minutes of the film. And then there's a dialogue. There's one scene in particular where Javier Bardem goes to the middle of the desert to try and help some more people out through chopper. And there's a guy that takes him. And the guy suddenly starts spelling out how he likes to smoke marijuana. And that's why he likes it so much, because it takes him out of living in this very dangerous environment. Makes no sense, but that's not what I'm getting at. There's one part of the film where Javier Bardem is sulking because he has just lost a patient. And then this guy comes over and he tells him, well man, don't worry because, you know, look at this girl. She was ripped from her vagina to her anus right after her sister was raped, and she was raped as well. But look at her, she's dancing and she's beautiful. Haha, peace my man. And he hugs him and he goes out. Fuck this movie. The editing is completely atrocious in this film. There are so many fucking unnecessary shots in this movie. Every time you see a shot of a small ring on someone, or a necklace, or an earring, or a bag that someone is taking on their back, it's trying to convey to you that it means something. But you could do that in one single shot. There's one shot where Javier Bardem is hugging Charlize Theron, but you can see that they are not exactly happy. And Sean Penn, what does he do? He closes up on Charlize Theron, he zooms out a little bit, goes out of focus, goes and zooms back on, and it's on focus. Then he goes to Javier Bardem, and then he zooms out, and then he again changes the shot, and he shoots the ring that is on Charlize Theron's finger. Oh my god! The story structure also makes no sense. This movie starts with Charlize Theron about to give a speech on humanitarianism, and then it goes back to Africa, and then it goes back to 1982 Africa when she was a kid, and then it goes back to Africa again, but now it's 10 years later than the first time you saw Africa in the film, and then she is running away from Javier Bardem, and then they're back in Africa and they are just meeting each other, and then it goes back to the future and she's met Javier Bardem and she runs away to some place, and then it goes back and they are all getting along, and then it goes back to the future and Javier Bardem is trying to make peace with her and he goes after her like a fucking stalker, and then it goes back to the future where she's still preparing to give a speech, and then it goes back to the past where they are having sex for the first time, and every single exchange between these two is fucking awkward. There's no chemistry there. The first exchange that they actually have with each other when they are meeting each other in those flashbacks, they have just saved a woman from dying and they saved her child who was being born at that moment. And then, besides fucking horrid cinematography, there's Javier Bardem and there's Charlize Theron looking at each other in the dark at night. I promise you, this is the dialogue in this scene. I'm going to recreate the dialogue in that scene. Hold on. What are you doing? I'm trying to kiss you. Is nothing sacred to you? Everything is sacred to me. And then she walks off. Honest to God, that's the dialogue. Throughout the whole movie, there's awkward dialogue. The chemistry between these two is non-existent. This is the one thing that is not bad in the movie, their chemistry. Why is that not bad? Because it doesn't fucking exist. I can think of one shot, and one shot only, of professionally put together frame in this film, and it's one shot where Javier Bardem is talking to Charlize Theron, and you have shadow all on her back, and she's being lit by the sunlight who's about to go down. That's fucking it. That's the one shot that is professionally composed in this film. The cinematography is atrocious. The Dutch angles in this film make absolutely no fucking sense. To this day, I can think of only one film that used Dutch angles correctly, and that is Thor from 2011. Yeah, that one. The only film that has used Dutch angles correctly. There are some shots in this film that, my God, again, nothing is ever totally on focus in this film. There's not one shot where everything is on focus. It's 2017. You can't frame a shot correctly so you can focus on two people at the same time. The edges are all out of focus, and I understand how that is good filmmaking if you're portraying a dream sequence, if you're portraying someone having an hallucination, or just thinking or having a deja vu or a flashback. This whole movie is a flashback, but it doesn't never feel like the present. No sequence in this film, not one of the time periods that are put together into this film, is ever the present. It always seems like the past, and nothing is ever put together correctly. Whoever paid to have this film made should be ashamed, because how this film tells a story about medics helping out to the people in Africa, my God, you should have saved that money and send it to the people in Africa. Because you could have actually saved lives. That's what fucking annoys me in this, and I'm not affected by these things, honestly. I'm sorry for the people who are suffering in Africa, but whenever a movie's fucking bad, this atrociously bad, I'm not ever affected by the real life implications of it. This movie made me think, because at all times it is, look, the UN is helping people in Africa, and then these characters are fucking atrocious. Javier Bardem is a guy who likes Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's a doctor, and he's a womanizer. That's it. Charlize Theron is a woman who's constantly shocked at everything she sees in Africa. She has never been a medic on the field, or she has been, and she hasn't been for, what, 10 years when she meets Javier Bardem, and then she wants to call it quits. These characters are horrible, horrible, horrible people. It makes abso-fucking-lutely no sense, and there's this plot line of a letter that doesn't get resolved until the very fucking end. And I'm going to spoil you right now. I'm not going to care. This movie should be spoiled because you shouldn't watch this film. About 1 hour into this film, you get introduced to this letter, and then they keep referencing it and showing it on focus. Don't worry, the letter is on focus on this film. And when she finally reads the letter, it's when they met, when they separated once more after 10 years of not seeing each other. Why haven't they seen each other? Because, I don't know, it never gets fucking resolved. And then she opens the letter, and the letter is simply about how he is going to see her again because he's going to look on the horizon and he's going to see her face smiling at him. And right when she reads the letter comes the next scene, which is her assistant telling her that he was rescuing a village that was being attacked and he died, and everyone died. I don't fucking care, man. By the time this movie actually attempts, in a very bad way, a completely misfired way, when it attempts to actually give you some substance and emotion, you have already checked out. It has been 1 hour and 30, 1 hour and 40 minutes since the film began, and nothing comes together, nothing ever mixes up. This was not something that was put on a blender, this was something that was refrigerated and then put on a tray, and they tried to make it seem like one dish. It's just an amalgam of foods that don't combine. Javier Bardem and Charlize Theron are incredible actors. They can't be good in this. They are not allowed to be good in this. This is a fucking atrociously put together piece of film, and I wish I could have more bunny ears because it doesn't deserve that title. This is a movie that tells me that if this is fucking made, if this is fucking financed, my god, I am going to be an incredible director and do whatever I fucking want, because nothing in this fucking works. Charlize Theron and Javier Bardem can't be good in the movie? Is that possible? Well, yes, Sean Penn made it happen. Nothing works, nothing looks good, nothing is edited correctly, the camera work is absolutely fucking unprofessional. It seemed like a 5-year-old was directing and camera operating this film. There's one shot where Javier Bardem sits on his hotel bed and the camera does it like this and zooms on him. And it's not like, oh my god, be transported into this scene. It's not like a dream sequence. It's like someone dropped the camera and it already started recording. I don't think anything that you see in this film is actually the take that was correct to use. There's one scene where they are about to have sex, Charlize Theron and Javier Bardem, and they start brushing their teeth. And it's about 2 minutes of them completely silent, just brushing their teeth, looking at each other. I can't tell you enough how bad this film is, but please, please, please don't watch it. Fuck this movie, fuck everything about this movie, fuck Sean Penn for trying to make this movie, fuck everyone involved in this film. I'm sorry. The Last Face makes no sense as a title, makes no sense as a movie, makes no sense with characters and story structure and filmmaking. The Last Face is cinematic excrement. No one has apparently seen this film, so I hope it continues like that because it is fucking atrocious. I wanted to go back into a depression. That's how unhappy I was. But thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the best, and I hope you don't go watch this movie. Go join the Beautiful Geeky Community Facebook group. The link is in the description. And once more, thank you so much. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all, and until tomorrow when I upload my Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 review, you stay beautiful and you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be geeky. United!